Hormati Pastor Ati Kara, Setiausaha Executive, Seventh-day Adventist Mission Sarawak. Pastor Jacob Anak Tupek, Pastor Tempatan Gereja SDA Semeba. Encik Henry Jinjom, Timbalan Pengerusi JKK K Kampung Semeba. Encik Josak Anak Sayang, Setiausaha JKKK Kampung Semeba. Tidak lupa juga Encik Abdul Aziz Isa bin Marindo, Pembantu khas Kampung Yang Berhormat Chong Chen Jin, Timbalan Menteri KPDN KK. Selamat datang juga. Church elders, ladies and gentlemen, I am delighted to be here this afternoon for this earth-breaking ceremony and the start of the construction and improvement of our Semeba SDA. I heard Encik Josak mention you all started, or this church started in 1948. That was a long time ago. 1948, I think Aziz and myself were not born yet. Yeah? No way to be found. And I caught the word you use, the sense of belonging and how do you call it? Belonging and ownership. Yes, the word ownership. I think Encik Josak has got it very well there, and I can feel it in this church and many other churches in the country. Money is hard to come by, just like the Chinese schools. Money is hard to come by, and the people themselves, the community themselves, got together, look for the funds, and together as a community with your sweat and energy, you got on royal and got this church out. And every time I pass by, I would notice this church and how well it's been kept, how clean and tidy and how well it's been kept. I would like to congratulate the community of Semeba and members of SDA Semeba, for your sense of belonging, for your sense of ownership that Encik Josak mentioned. I think it's something very, very valuable. And of course, I'm very happy, and likewise, I would like to say thank you to Uni4. Thank you to Uni4. And when I say thank you to Uni4, I remember Tokna. It was all started by a word from Tokna. Uni4 came about, and funds were given to all the other religions other than Islam, other than mosques. So not only churches receive assistance, temples, Chinese temples, Indian temples, and also receive grants to improve their place of worship. I think it's very, very valuable in Sarawak. I think it's a very noble thing that our leaders are doing. And I would like to say here, I would like to remind all of us that Uni4 can only be found in Sarawak. Uni4 can only be found in Sarawak. This is how precious it is. We must not forget that, We can't find uniform in Semenanjung, Malaysia. We don't find the leaders in Semenanjung, Malaysia. Whether it's the leaders now, it's the leaders before, supporting churches and other religious institutions the way we do it in Sarawak. I'm not saying that there was none, but I'm saying that we will not find it the way our leaders in Sarawak treat each other, compared to the West. This is something very different, very, very valuable. We must remind ourselves, as Sarawakians, we are different. Even the way we behave, the way we treat one another is different. So again, I would like to say thank you to Unifor for the 250,000. And I have received a message from Unifor that Unifor is here to stay. Unifor will continue to assist, not just SDS Semeba, will continue to assist, will continue to assist all the other churches, chapels in the whole of Sarawak. So, something that we must not forget. As a multicultural, racial Sarawak, we need everybody to understand, to be tolerant, and to accept the religious and cultural differences that we have in our society. And tolerance, moderation, and mutual understanding. The genuine kind that I'm talking about, not the fake one, but the genuine one. And this is something that we must preserve in Sarawak. It's something we have in Sarawak, and we must preserve. It was only last Thursday, the Elder Joseph was also there, during a joint prayer session at the Association of Churches, where all the denominations came together. The Muslims was represented, the Indians were represented as well, the Buddhists were also represented. Of course, majority were Christians. And it just goes to show, how we treasure, how we Sarawakian treasure religious freedom, in tolerance in our country, in our state of Sarawak. The unity and the harmony that we have been having all these years since the inception of Malaysia. Ladies and gentlemen, I just like to remind all of us again, especially the younger people, that we are Sarawakians. And we are special. We have special privileges. We are not selfish. It's not that we are selfish. When we form Malaysia, bila kami menubuhkan Malaysia, we have conditions. It's just like a businessman setting out to form joint ventures between partners to form a business. Okay, let's form this company, and these are the conditions that we shall abide by for this company. And likewise, when we form Malaysia, Sarawak, Sabah has got special conditions with the 11 states of Malaya, the Federated States of Malaya, we call it. That okay, we agree to come together as Malaysia, on certain conditions. That's why I said we must not feel that we are selfish. It is conditions that we all agreed. Our forefathers, nenek moyang kami, yang tentukan syarat-syarat ini, bukan kami sekarang. So we must remember we are not selfish. So, and one of the conditions, there were a lot of conditions, like immigration, like the land is ours, anything under the land is also ours. Unlike Semenanjung, the Federated States, unlike Kelantan. Kelantan ada petroleum, but the petroleum belongs to the Federated States of Malaysia. Tetapi Sarawak ada petroleum juga, ada gas juga. But petroleum and gas belongs to Sarawak. 100%. But if we start talking about it and, the politicians start blaming one another, we'll go nowhere. But I just want to ask all to know it, to realize it, that all these are ours. The petrol and the gas under the ground. Whether I'm from GPS or whether Aziz is from Pakatan Harapan, the fact still stays the same, that all these petroleum and gas lies beneath the lands of Sarawak and belongs strictly to Sarawak. Our challenge today is to bring all this back. I know, that's why I say we start arguing about, people will start asking me, what are you doing all these 55 years? You didn't get it back. But never mind. My objective here today is not to blame my party, my predecessors, or the present government. My objective is to let every one of us know, especially the younger generations, that we have these special privileges. The other important thing that is in the Constitution, that was in the 18 points agreement leading to the formation of Malaysia Agreement 1963. The other important point is what? Religious and educational freedom. That is the other important point. I think some of us who are older will remember all these 18 points that we studied. I was the one who read the 18 points last. I was the last one. I was born in 1960. And I remember when I was in primary 6, there was this subject called civic. And in the last page of this civic book, it stated all these 18 points agreement, leading to the formation of Malaysia, leading to the agreement MA63. And in that 18 points is specified down there. Sarawak and Sabah, Sarawak, do not have an official religion. We're all free to practice our respective religion. Sarawak do not have an official language. We are free to use whatever language we want. It was the Malaysian Constitution that tried to overshadow all this. That's the Malaysia you know today. But Sarawak have our privileges. That's what I want you to all know. And I want to remind our young people not to forget this, to read up on our 18 points and the Malaysian Agreement. Read it up. Because it's not in our history book today. I'm sure all this will be, talk about by politicians in the future, politicians like Aziz and myself, we'll talk about this, and we'll request the government of the day to bring all this back. The history of Sarawak, to bring all this back. I mention this because when I stand here today with all of you, I remember when I was a little boy, I was in St. Thomas School, and we were under, all these brothers and fathers who run the school, and I remember James Wong gave me, Dato James Wong gave me. He was the one who reminded me and all the other young boys and girls, don't forget your 18 points agreement, read up on them. Don't forget your history of Sarawak, your privileges as Sarawakians. I remember that very well. And today, whenever I get to meet young people especially, I try to bring this and remind every one of them. Because it's their future that's at stake. We're doing all this to ensure that nothing is forgotten, so that the younger generations will be able to carry on and challenge the present government of the day to ensure that we get back what we have lost all these years. Ladies and gentlemen, I would just like to, just give me a few more minutes, and I would just like to mention here that apart from Uni 4, selain daripada Uni 4, Encik Joseph, you also mentioned about this place to be Pasir. I will try my best to do it in 2019. I'll try my best to 2019, maybe 2019, 2020. Okay, but it will be done. I assure you that this place will be done now. Thank you. Because the state has given every adult 5 million. Not cash lah. Kalau cash saya sekarang jalan tu susah. 5 million. Bukan cash. Tapi saya ada authority to say, my people want this to be done, my people want that to be done, my constituency needs this to be done. And therefore I can propose out of the 5 million what to be done for that year. So 2018, the proposals have all gone out. There's no more money in 2018. The projects are all identified and all out, rolled out already. So I have to, now I'm preparing for 2019, so I have to do it. And also because I also made promises with St. Anne's Church to continue their Paritan, to finish that off. I started halfway because it's too much money, and so I had to do it halfway. I'll continue that one, and I'll help you to do this one as well. For 2018, just for Semeba area alone, we have completed the collapsed pipe culvert at the Semeba Main Road with 86,722.67 is completed. And we have also resurfaced Lorong 4, Jalan Kampong Semeba, you notice. This has also been completed. And we have a night taraf Jalan in Kampong Semeba, 100,000. We're preparing the BQ now. So we always work together closely with the Tua Kampong, and community leaders, of course. So we were preparing the BQ for this 100,000 jalan-jalan di Kampong Semeba. And there was another 200,000 for your football field. I try to put all this money, this 5 million, into projects that benefit the masses instead of the individual. Kalau ada orang kampung satu rumah mau satu jalan, saya memang cakap tunggu sekejap. So ada banyak barang yang nak buat masa ini. Like the football field, it benefits the entire kampung, the children. So 200,000 has been approved, and that one is under construction or not yet. It's still in the planning. So it will be done. The money is already there. And we also have Bina Baru, Parit Concrete, Kampong Batu Kita. This one is the Parit, where I've allocated 200,000 also from the 5 million for this, and the council is preparing the BQ. The council is the implementing agencies. So just, from the day I started until today, I've allocated more than 1 million, 1.036 to Semeba alone. Kampong Semeba alone. I'm not talking about Tamatu, Kumbok, all the other kampongs. I'm just talking about Semeba alone. I've already allocated more than 1 million. That doesn't include the MRP funds that I've also allocated for Semeba. And MRP funds up to today, including 2018, I've already allocated about 40,000 from the MRP funds. 2,000 here, 3,000 there for activities. I would just like to say, what we have today, what I have been able to do today, is all by the grace of God. It's not me. It so happened that I'm here at this time. I might call it the right time at the right place, but it's all by the grace of God. And I would like to say thanks to the Almighty for today and for everything that I've been able to do. And I find joy and happiness. Doing all this, and I continue to do my best for the community and for the church. So with that, once again, congratulations to the chairman of the building committee, secretary of JKKK, Encik Josak, has been working very hard. The day I know him during Yong Kun Seng's time, Alfred Yap's time, Yong Kun Seng's time, he's already there. Until today, he's still working tirelessly for the community. I'd like to congratulate Mr. Joseph. Thank you, Mr. Joseph. And of course, all the other community leaders. I'd like to thank all of you for making time out here. I heard that some of you have come from very far away. I'd like to thank every one of you. And I'm very happy. I saw the pictures just now. The money given, you have also, and the Mr. Joseph here started even to get the drawings all done, planned, and you're making use of every single cent of the money that you have to benefit every corner of this church. With that, once again, thank you very much and have a wonderful afternoon.